Natasha didn't know anything about the rule book before she,
with due respect,
came in.
This Senate president, the way he speaks, only God knows. Berating her, he said that's the problem when people come through the court process. She has a right to fight for election and she got in. Said she didn't go through, what's it called, the induction because she came through the cross process. But she's been in this house for a while. She's pushed bills forward. She's gone on foreign trips. With even you, the Senate president, which we see. So it's now because she was speaking based on privileges, which she wanted to be heard, and now you are now saying this against her. At first, you are berating her. You are denigrating her. We must say no to what is being said to women. Then, his own legislative aide now went on a tirade on social media. Ufon said all sorts. He's Ufon sexualizing Natasha. Why will he say that, oh, transparent clothes? So is he imagining Natasha in transparent clothes? Why would that even come to a legislative aid?
It's quite uncalled for.
Then you say pancake. So that means you're objectifying the woman. So what you also mean in very is that Natasha has no brain. This is a qualified lawyer. That's only pancake she knows how to rub. I hear he's been trying to lie. You know, when people do things and you slam them, they will lie that their page was hacked. Because Ufon also went attacking me because I stood up. And I will stand up for Natasha. The world should hear it.
Viewers, it's your boy, Osapolo. Welcome back to our channel again. I want to talk about this Natasha and Senate President again. I don't really know why this man, with the joy where this man they get to the bully any senator that is not from APC. The fact that APC senators are the majority leader does not give him rights to bully any other person. They are all senators like him. They are all senators like him. You don't have to bully anybody, especially this Natasha case. Look at how this man has been bullying this woman. In fact, you need to even see the word where he used against this man. Are they telling us that the women are not humans, or they don't think, or they can't do anything? I remember his case and Saraki. Saraki did not bully this man the way this man is bullying other senators. You can't be bullying other senators like this. If there's only any other things to do or say, you guys to sit down and then talk about this thing, other than using such words on your fellow senators. Our president, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, really need to do something concerning this. This man can't continue bullying every other senator like him like this. He really need to do something. He really need to do something. I'll play the video for Namukuna see, and as you watch, kindly subscribe, share, and like for more videos like this. Thank you.
The truth is, there's constantly been a tiff between both of them. And it's not only Natasha, they've treated the other female senator, Senator Rutila Kingibe, that same way. They can quote the law about position and seats and all of that, but also there's a right of privilege when you have to be heard, when you stand on an order. When Akpabio did his, the Saraki subject him to this. Anyway, we've already had intelligence report that they were going to submit that to the disciplinary committee and all of that. We will see. Yeah. They should not forget, there's already a court judgment as regards suspension. So you can't suspend the people of Kogi. Like all the senators gather at the back. I also hear, anyway, they've debunked the story that's fake news. I also hear they were trying to call, what's it called, Brekete. Why did he grant, I've heard it's fake news. But see, like all your senators gang up against Natasha, we'll keep saying it here. Right. Because when you did your own, even yours was even worse than this. Nobody was high-handed. Learn to respect women. Enough of all of this. Well, even in the statement, he even still showed. So because Natasha came through a court process, which he fought for a case,
so she was not familiar with.
So does it mean she's not familiar? And she's been in the Senate for how many months now?
Well,
so we should stop all of this. We know what's going on. I stand 1000% with Natasha Akpabio.
All right. Well, she's been subjected to that disciplinary committee, but you know there's been more reactions. Let me just take Senator Shehu Sani's tweet. He wrote, "It's the responsibility of the opposition senators from the PDP, LP, and NNPP to intervene and prevent the Akpabio Natasha rift From further deteriorating, disciplinary committee can only lead to suspension, and that's a senator speaking. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Right, thank you. And good one there. Senator Shehu Sani is a former senator, so he's speaking from experience.
Yes.
And he's saying that, yes, I agree with him that the voice of the opposition is quite loud.
Yeah.
The silence, of the opposition is quite loud in this instance. In fact, I was quite embarrassed to hear that other Kogi State senators were apologizing on their behalf. You know, and all of them are men, by the way. So they were saying that, oh, they were sorry. In fact, one of the men who was apologizing resisted or opposed the bill on violence against persons. So you can understand the background.
But
in terms of,
you didn't.
No, they're apologizing for her behavior on her behalf. She didn't ask them to. I'm just saying that how the voice of the opposition, the silence is really loud at this time. Also, I must say that the voice of women in Nigeria, women groups, you know, women leaders, fellow leaders, also their silence is very loud as well. Yes, you can, to be objective, they say that yes, they have rules, and in fact, they say this defamation suit against the Senate president might be a bit watery because there are certain privileges that are exclusive to senators. And even she herself said it during a radio interview, that there are certain things that happen within the House that they cannot be judged by, you know, outside personnel. That's also separation of powers, legislature, judiciary, and the executive. However, it must be said that this culture of speaking to women and disrespecting and dishonoring women in public offices must end in Nigeria. And the Senate president, by virtue of his office, must lead this charge.
Yes.
It is embarrassing and disgraceful to imagine that women who are elected, by the way, the numbers have decreased, and you can now understand why.
Yes,
if a lot of the women who are being encouraged to come into politics, and a lot of campaign is done around this, are not encouraged to serve because when they get in there, they are at best second-class citizens, where they have to be reminded that they have husbands at home. Can you talk to your husband like this? Where they have to be reminded that, oh, you cannot talk in that way. She exercised her right. And in terms of understanding the position of a senator, how many voices of the other men, we have 109 senators, don't we, in the House? How many of them have we heard their voices or have passed a bill or transmitted the bill as Senator Natasha has done? She has served her people well. She worked hard, and we all saw the journey to emerging as senator to get this seat. It was meritorious. And so I think she should be accorded the same respect as every senator should be respected. And very importantly, women's voices should be heard.
Professor Kila, I wanted your opinion on this subject as well. I mean, I hope that this case will set some sort of precedent as to decorum and why decorum is important. Because, I mean, as much as we are saying that, you know, the Senate president should have done this, I think also the Natasha Akpabio could have also restrained herself during the process. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I totally agree with you. And let me start by saying that Shehu Sani's tweet reflects what we said here 2 or 3 days ago. You know, when I say when this kind of thing happens, the first thing that comes to mind is where is the opposition? And indeed, where are the men and women of goodwill? Goodwill not to take a side, but to say this is right or this is wrong, and to see a way to move forward in decorum way. Because the whole point is that if you are in this hallowed chamber, red chamber, they call them distinguished, and they behave in ways that are not distinguished, it is worrisome for the country. I think all legislators should learn the rules, but above all, those who chair proceedings should understand that they have a bigger duty of maintaining not just decorum, but proceedings. When somebody says somebody does not know the rule, actually, let me not say someone, let me call name. When Akpabio says somebody else doesn't know the rule, there's a flaw there. Let me give 1 second lesson on legislative procedure. The duty of the chair of any legislative sitting, the main duty is to allow the process to flow. That is your main interest. So you must find the way. If somebody is in the wrong position, you let them talk and you overrule them. If somebody is doing the wrong thing, you hear them out, then you cover it out. But I think it's important for everybody to understand these rules, and the public as well. And by the way, if they're doing this to women, and they say women are not in places, I blame voters, not the people there. If you truly want women anywhere, vote for them. There's some very simple thing to do. So women are voters.
Sent messages that they are strategizing and they are standing by her and supporting her. I recall the first time that he said she was a club girl. They came out to speak on her behalf. So it's really good to hear that they're doing
this. And he only apologized because
Couple Women Foundation,
you know, a particular blog released a list of women close to him.
I remember that story. Well, as much as we call for, you know, this sort of rancor not to occur in the House of the Senate, we should also call for proper legislation to protect women especially.
Simpliciter.